what your thinking is around the merge and just how impactful it will be on the broader industry.
Yeah, this is a massive piece of news for Ethereum and for crypto more broadly. I think this is the biggest development in the crypto space since the launch of the DeFi summer in 2020. It's going to transform Ethereum into an asset that institutional investors feel increasingly attracted to, maybe even compelled to own. And it could be the marker that represents part of the bottoming process we're going through in crypto. We may look back on this merge or the announcement of the date of the merge as a signal moment that turned us from sort of the crypto winner into at least a sideways move before we go to the next big up move.
Now, we recently interviewed the co-founder of Tezos, Kathleen Brightman, who didn't have nice things to say about Ethereum. Take a quick listen to what she had to say.
In reality, it's really no different than something like Hex, which is kind of a Ponzi scheme that's crashed in the last few weeks, which is just a token that basically pays you for freezing it. The longer you freeze it, the more you receive, so on and so forth. But it's all inflation.
Obviously, we know, Matt, this is a very tribalistic industry, but she kind of likened Ethereum to a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, I don't see that analogy. Ethereum is the new infrastructure on which decentralized finance, NFTs, and stablecoins are being built. Tezos is an interesting project that's trying to compete with Ethereum, but it's a tiny fraction of the size. It has a tiny fraction of the developer community. What she was speaking about was part of the merge is going to incentivize long-term investors in Ethereum to lock up their ETH, to stake their ETH, which allows them to earn a yield on their investment, which takes some ETH out of the market and should be accretive to prices. I would put a more positive frame on it. As a long-term investor, you're going to be able to access what amounts to almost a venture capital style investment, one with huge potential payoff, but one where you can earn a yield that could be 8, 9, or 10% or more. I don't think it's a Ponzi scheme. I think it's the new internet of finance. And we're just at the beginning of that transition.
Well, speaking of that transition and tribalism here, what does it mean for Bitcoin? And do you think one wins out of the other, especially when you look at how nascent Ethereum is in terms of valuation compared to Bitcoin?
It's a great question. On one hand, yes, Ethereum will win out marginally over Bitcoin. By that, I mean that to date, institutional investors have only been in Bitcoin primarily. And in the future of crypto, they're going to be in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and I would argue a wide array of assets. That's one of the reasons why Bitwise creates crypto index funds. So it is going to force institutional investors to diversify their holdings. But more than that, this is going to be a rising tide that lifts all boats. Again, what's happening in Ethereum will catalyze new interest in crypto, new opportunities in crypto, and I suspect Bitcoin and Ethereum will rise side by side. I think Ethereum's share of the crypto market could increase substantially compared to Bitcoin, but I suspect that both of them are going to be heading up over the next few years.
You know, there's a lot of questions about staked Ethereum, and there's still a bit of an imbalance if you look at kind of the liquidity pools. I'm wondering, this is a grand test of time when it comes to decentralized finance. There's so much debate about whether DeFi will win in the end, given the issues that we see in centralized finance in crypto. But how do you know what the issues will be moving forward as this industry goes?
Yeah, well, you don't know, of course. That's the risk that you take. There is no risk-free reward in investing, and there's certainly a lot of risks in the crypto market. But if you look at what took place over the last cycle, we saw the rapid emergence of DeFi, we saw the rapid emergence of NFTs, we saw $100 billion plus flow into stablecoins, all built on programmable blockchains like Ethereum. As we get through this crypto window and start thinking about what are the new products that we're going to see in the future, we're going to see growth in DeFi, in NFTs, and stablecoins. We'll also see huge growth in things like Web3 interactions, gaming, digital identity. I think the market cycle, the next market cycle we're moving to is going to be orders of magnitude larger than the last cycle. And that was really just a proof of concept phase. This next few years is when crypto goes mainstream. So that's what we expect from Ethereum and the broader crypto industry.
So tease that out for me a bit. How much bigger do you think the cycle will be?
Oh, I think it's many multiple times bigger is the answer to that. Again, we saw, if you think about crypto's returns, what drives crypto's returns? Crypto booms when it develops products that people want. It boomed in the early 2010s when people developed Bitcoin, which was this interesting non-monetary asset, non-sovereign monetary asset. It boomed in 2016, 2017 when we had Ethereum and ICOs. The most recent boom was when we had NFTs and we had stable coins and we had DeFi. But that just penetrated 1% of the market. I think the market opportunity for all of those are 10x. I think there are 5 or 6 other killer products that we'll see in the next market cycle. So I really think that the next boom could be 5, 10 times bigger than the prior boom. I think it will be the moment that crypto goes mainstream and your friends, your uncles, your cousins are all interacting with the crypto market, be it through gaming, digital identity, music NFTs, ticketing, DeFi, traditional NFTs, or stablecoins for payments. I do think it is orders of magnitude larger. It's probably still a year or two off, but you can see it clearly on the horizon, and we're getting closer to it every day.